All right, let's do this. We're gonna be using Google Slides today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start this learning experience off here, explaining a little bit about who I am. I'm known as the Game Doctor. My name is Esty. I've been a gamer my whole life, literally my whole life. When I was a little wee lad, I got introduced to the Super Nintendo. Super Mario was the first video game I've ever played. You want to talk about humble beginnings? When we were a kid, I think we forget that we don't intuitively just know how to pick up a controller and play. I had such a hard time even beating one level in Super Mario. The concept that you need, even in the beginning of Super Mario, is the run jump, right? I think it's the second level, maybe, or the third. You need to be able to run and jump. But when you're a kid and you're hitting buttons, that's what you're doing. You're hitting buttons. So I vividly still remember this vague memory of playing in the attic of one of my houses. My uncle just introduced me to the console, and I was walking to a ledge, holding forward, and hitting jump. And I would just jump into the pit. Or then I would hold run and run to the edge, and then let go and hit jump and jump into the pit. Because even that concept of holding a button and then hitting another button is a weird, not intuitive concept. And that always brings me back to my roots of remembering what it feels like to take everything, to remember how nuanced and weird what we're building is, and how powerful it is to make connections. Since then, I've been gaming my whole life, and I've been studying, and over the years, I started seeing problems. I started getting let down on releases. And I started seeing these mistakes of games that I was excited about. And over the years, they started following similar patterns. What happened was, I would see these games released and we would get let down. But the complaints that we would have when we got let down started to sound samey. From someone that played everything, I found myself having the same complaints in different games. But then I would start to look around. Is it just me? And other gamers would be having those same complaints. There was a pattern starting to emerge. Now, over the years, this is just ideas, right? Oh, okay, I see where this is going. Oh, okay, this problem again, right? It's nothing. Get a little bit older, though, and start asking myself some other questions, right? I started to think differently. Wait, why do we keep having those same problems, right? If it is hurting our launches and hurting our craft, and it's hurting our money, and people are getting fired, why would we do it, right? Why are they? And I would ask myself that. Why are they choosing to do that? Why do they do that, right? And that was it for years. It stopped right there. That was the thinking. Why would they do that? And it wasn't until years later where I really started studying. Wait a second. And it hit me one day when we were talking in chat. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. Wait a second. They're not choosing to do that. Right? Because who would choose to do that? Who would choose to work on something and then hurt it on purpose? Right? But it really did take me years to even think about that. Years. For years. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. They're not doing it on purpose. They can't see it. Because no one would choose to do that. They can't see it. And it really literally took me years to figure that out. And then once that question hit me, oh my God, they can't see it. Just because it's obvious to me does not mean it's obvious to them. I began studying. Okay, I know something is here, but how do I make it make sense? How do I explain it? How do I talk about it? Right? You can't go up to somebody and say, hey, you don't see this thing. Dummy, don't do that, right? You can't do that. No one will listen. So I began studying. I've been studying and studying and studying. And I've come up with words and rubrics and things to now show other people how it's going to happen and why. And it turns out those answers in a nutshell are that we are too close to our own work and that we can't see those things when they're close. They're called a blind spot. A blind spot is something that could be right in front of us, but we cannot see it. We cannot understand it, right? It is a blind spot. It's like a car in a rearview mirror. The rearview mirror helps us see that blind spot, right? So we cannot do this ourselves. So I started studying, right? And I would look around. I would study because I'm big into film. I'm big into learning, perceptual learning, right? And keep learning. And I started looking around and I figured it out. Every other industry has somebody there to remove those blind spots. For people that are too close to themselves, too passionate, and too close to their own work, right? And there's somebody there to catch that with their best interest in mind, right? That's why we have editors. Do you guys think that these writers and these famous writers can't write good? Do you think it's about their skill set? Do you think that they don't know how to spell? Do you think that stuff was on purpose? No, they probably can't see it, right? They probably looked over it a million times. So they have an editor, right? And we have the team that puts the movies together and checks all of these things, right? And LeBron James, we could talk about athletes. We don't even have to talk about writing or art. He has a coach, right? He also takes a lot of time after every victory to thank his team. He would not be here without his team and his coach. I watched UFC actually Saturday. Anybody watch the fight? Anybody watch those fights Saturday? It was actually really good. Medov, I don't know how to say his name. Very talented. The first thing they do when they win is they say they wouldn't be there without their coach and their team. And I started studying this. Oh my God, yes, they would literally not be able to do this work if it wasn't for the work of their team. Because there is no self-made man. There is no solo dev. It's all bullshit. It's all fake. Now, you might have friction there. That ego might be like, oh yeah, who does this guy think he is? But I promise you, the more you dance with the stuff, the more you're going to realize it's true. So I started realizing that, oh my God, that's why these things exist. This is why I have a coach. This is why my coaches have coaches. Because we all need it, because it's not a skill set thing. It's not a skill set. Right? This is not a test of your skills. This is not a test of your ego. Oh yeah, how dare you? This is not a test. This is not a challenge. This is just things that we need. This is what humans go through. That being said, these fundamentals started to be born. Fundamentals are those groundwork. Now, what's really important today in today's workshop, and we're going to get into it now, is becoming exceptionally good at the basics. Exceptionally good at the basics. This is going to be your competitive advantage in this video game industry. And over the next like 30 to 40 minutes, we're going to show you guys how and why you need to take this seriously if you don't want to be just another statistic. A Game Doctor workshop on the fundamentals of becoming scarce and why that scarcity is your guys' opportunity. Fundamentals, that's your delivery, your clarity, your pacing, your feedback, your friction. These are all your basics. So when you hear the word fundamentals, a lot of people don't even know what that is. We're in an industry that doesn't even agree that there is fundamentals to every art, right? That's how lost we are. These are your basics. These are the things that don't change product to product. These are the things that don't change or change very seldom product to product. So that means you want to build upon these. Now, can they change eventually? Of course. Can new ones get added? Of course. But do they change? No, this is your rubric, right? This is your basis in which you craft. If you're going to go make a new game, you make a new game with these fundamentals in mind. Now, this is already wild probably for some of y'all, right? And if that is you, you need to lock in here, because I get that this industry doesn't even agree upon this yet, and there's nothing to agree with. Every industry has this. Did anybody ever go to an art school or a music school? I wrote an article like this, you can go see it on gamedoctor.io, where I talk about my experience, where I thought it was going to be artsy. I thought I was going to go to music school, and we were going to be jamming and making music. To my surprise, I got there, and it was the complete opposite. It was learning rules, and cadence, and harmony. Right? It was music theory. It was years and years of music theory. Now, the reason they do that is not to trump your artistry. It's to empower it. So what they do is they teach you centuries of distinctions. So now that you're caught up, kind of like Neo in the Matrix, and you're plugged in and you caught all of that up, years of learning, you get to start there. That's exciting, no? You get to start there. You get to start where years and years of learning has developed and gotten them there, and you get to learn it all super rapidly and quickly. So I hear oftentimes people say, oh my God, I'm not going to look at that game because I don't want it to ruin me. I don't want it to steal their ideas. I want to stay fresh. But we don't spend any time learning fundamentals, which is our starting point, which is years of what people have discovered the hard way for us to get started and keep going. This is called discipline. Music theory, film. Did you guys know film is full of rules? Foundation, right? How you shoot dialogue, so it makes sense to the viewer. How to not get them sick. How to make them feel suspense. Did you guys know that there's rules to these things? It's not just artistry and winging it and vibe. It's rules. It's discipline. It's no different here. It's no different. So we're going to talk about these things and how you get your competitive edge today. Let's go. The industry is drowning in ideas, but not delivery. Now, I want to just preface all of this, that these are not trying to give you some scientific science. These are guys who are going to give you the lens so that you can see these things for yourself. All right? These are trying to plant that seed in you so you guys can leave this today and see differently because of this lens and this framing. All right? And we'll talk all about framing and lens later, so you guys are like, what is he talking about? It's an actual thing. It's changing what you see, right? The industry is drowning in ideas, not delivery. There's more tools, there's more engines, there's more tutorials, more releases. Can I get a 1 in chat if you guys have noticed that we are getting more games than ever? This is not to debate about. Objectively, the industry is growing. We have more tools than ever. We have more output than ever. If we don't even agree upon that, I don't know what to tell you. Just go look out your window, right? Just go look. So we want to start with those clear objective truths. There is more tools than ever. There's more accessibility than ever. So we're going to have more people making this product than ever. Plain and simple, right? So let's start with that obvious truth. Yes? But the player still judges the moment-to-moment experience. Can I understand it? Does it feel good? Does it respect my time? Gamers, right? We don't care about your tools. We don't care about this first box. We actually don't even know it exists. We don't care. But we do care about the moment-to-moment experience. It will always be that way. We don't care how the film is made. Nor do we even understand what Christopher Nolan went through to make The Odyssey. And that he had to lug around this 10-ton camera up a mountain just to shoot this walking shot that any other movie could just do in a green room. They don't understand, right? We just know the moment to moment. The idea craft gap. This is a new theory that I'm working with. How good the game sounds versus how well it delivers. Now, is there any developers or consumers, gamers here, that have this experience recently? I know I have like 3 right off the top of my head from this week. The idea versus what we're getting, the craft. Anyone? I mean, I don't know, me personally, if you've caught any of the shows recently, some of you are probably coming in here for the first time. Exarch comes to mind. Just released yesterday. Breaks my heart. We have amazing idea, a huge craft gap, right? We can't deliver that idea powerfully. That craftsmanship, the fundamentals that we're talking about today, that competitive edge. We're landing like every other game. We have a good idea that's just poor in delivery. We have to complain about. It's frustrating. Right? This is the idea craft gap. You could have the best ideas ever. Now remember that we used to live in circles that's just saying you just need that good idea. You just need that good idea. That's all you need. That's how you're successful. You just get that good idea. But we don't have an idea shortage. We all have good ideas. Everyone has good ideas. You think if you have an idea to open a restaurant, you're the first one, oh, I'm going to open this kind of restaurant. If it's not good and it doesn't have that craftsmanship, it doesn't work. As development becomes more accessible, people are going to skip steps more than ever. People come from web development, programming, art, playing games, etc. and think, I can just make one of those. They just wing it, right? A lot of my clients do that too. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. The problem is jumping straight into production without getting the reps and learning the craft. Without learning the craft, we're winging it. Knowing how to implement mechanics is not knowing how to design an experience, right? So we want to add something, and we learn, and we go to these dev circles on how to add it. But that doesn't mean that's how we design it. That's not how you design the overall experience. That's just how you add the mechanics. It's how you make it work. It's how you make Mario jump, right? So there is something cool there. We're making him jump, but that's not where the design is, right? You're implementing it, but that's not the design. That's not how everything works together that we make a cohesive video game and product that a consumer is going to like. These are separate, and you need to separate these in your brain. The idea craft gap. How exciting does your game sound versus what the player is actually receiving? Fundamentals are what translates your idea in your head into something another person can successfully operate and understand. A concept that I said a long time ago that I need you guys to understand, and this should warp your brain. With film and music and all these other arts, we pay so much respect to the craft. The craftsmanship, right? The fundamentals. Did you guys know that we have to pay even more respect to the craft because it's even harder? Do you guys know why? It's going to be as clear as day. Because in our craft, in the video game industry, we also have to have the player operate it. It's like it's like a vehicle. Our product only works as good as they can operate it. Because you have to spend even more responsibility. We have to spend even more care, more fundamentals. Not winging it, right? It's not a film. We can't just sit there and digest the experience. It's not music. Sit there and listen to the experience. They have to operate it for it to work. It's like a vehicle. And even vehicles have rules and fundamentals. So if we're not even there yet, of course we're saying the market's unpredictable. Because we have to treat that with even more care, even more love. You guys understand this? Stronger fundamentals also means faster, more consistent development because you're making better decisions earlier instead of rediscovering the basics later. Now notice I use the word rediscovering because when you run into those dead ends, you're not learning something new. You're not like, oh my God, look what I'm discovering. You're just discovering something that they've tried to teach you over the last 15 years. You're not relearning that players want save and quit, or that they don't want tedious design, or that they don't want durability for no reason, right? You're not all of a sudden like, oh my God, look at this unique case I'm in. That's why we're tired and get frustrated, because this has all been done before. That's why these are fundamental rules. Somebody falls in a hole, and you're just falling in too. And you're calling it a success. I'm learning the hard way. This is what it means to be a game developer. This is the indie way. It's not, right? That's wasting time and then saying there's never enough time, right? It's wasting money and saying we don't have money. You have passion, but you don't have that money, right? Do you guys see this? It makes it so easy, and I'm trying to make it as simple as day. There's no method. There's no crazy mysticism here. Everyone has ideas. Delivery is becoming the scarce resource. Everyone got that? We're going to keep going. Ideas will not get you there alone. Steam reviews are a market thermometer, not a diagnosis. Man, this is the big one. This is the big one. We treat these reviews as if they're our holy Bible, right? If it gets decent reviews, it did great. It did great. Nothing to learn here. We should just copy them. If it did bad, oh, it's awful. Don't do those ideas. Oh, it did bad. Oh, man, this is why you shouldn't do anything risky. This is why you should attack the target audience, right? We just make up all of these weird things. We use this as our Bible. Steam reviews tell us something went wrong, but usually not what went wrong. Players experience symptoms. Players experience symptoms. We're going to make this as plain as day. Again, write this stuff down. Remind yourself later. They experience symptoms. The same way, and again, make this as plain as possible. Use a reference point that you're not attached to with your ego, right? That you don't have attachment, so it's easier to see. That's why it's always easier to see somebody else's failure. Like, oh, this is not good. Why would they do that? But then we do it, right? It's always easier to see. So if you are sick and you have a stomach ache is the symptom. That's what the consumers are complaining about, the symptom. Now, it doesn't mean that you know what it is or what's causing that stomach ache. So eventually, if it does get bad enough, you're going to go to a professional, right? Maybe they say, hey, you have an ulcer or a kidney stone, right? That's where that pain is coming from. That's the diagnosis. Do you guys see the difference? One is the symptom. It's the overall layer. This is what the consumers are going to complain about. One is a diagnosis. One is where it's coming from. I mean, that is so important to understand. This is frustrating. Some popular ones you guys might have heard of, right? Let me know if you guys have heard of these. What are some of your favorites as developers? What are some of your favorite symptoms, right? Let me know. I don't know what I'm doing. This game is boring. This ballad sucks. This is so grindy. This feels so clunky. Have you guys heard these before? Do you guys see how these are symptoms? They're real. They are real, but they're symptoms. These are your heat map. Are we getting this? These aren't necessarily the root causes. Underneath them are the reoccurring fundamentals. The reoccurring fundamentals. This stuff is so important, y'all. So important! So, there might be unnecessary friction. There might be weak information delivery, right? There might be weak pacing or reward cadence. We've been dealing with a lot of that this week, right? There's an incohesion between systems. There might be insufficient feedback for the player. There might be unclear expectations, right? These are all the underlying fundamental issues that are going to cause those symptoms, right? A fundamental issue might be that you've been drinking tons and tons of sugar and soda and blah blah blah, and the eventual systems are going to be symptoms are going to be maybe weight gain or pain or lack of energy or bad mood, right? Now those symptoms can come from multiple things, right? But it's going to come from some kind of foundational issue. A huge onboarding issue we tell players controls instead of teaching them how to think about the product. This is a very popular one. I promise you right now, if we took 10 random games, 10 of them are going to fail to onboard. And this stuff is important, right? Don't say you're going to remember this later. You're another statistic. You're going to fail to onboard as well, right? It's not everybody else. It's not just them. I wouldn't make that mistake. They're all saying that. Nobody decided to make bad onboarding. No one said, hey, I'm going to make sure that this is bad for launch. No one. They're all just like you. 10 out of 10 games will fail to onboard. 10 out of 10. We tell players controls instead of teaching them how to think about the product. If players aren't taught what matters, or how systems connections, one of our most powerful distinctions this year, or what mindset the game expects, everybody's going to enter with a different mental model, right? They're going to all have different expectations out of it. They're all going to think a different way. They're all going to have different things. Why do you guys think most players are stuck at Ascension 0 Slay the Spire? There's a failure to onboard there, right? The game doesn't teach you how to play it. It doesn't teach you how to succeed at it. It does instructionalize. It does tell you how to hit the buttons, but that's it. It doesn't make any connections. You don't know how to think about that game. You guys see this? Once you understand it, you will not be able to unsee it. I promise you that. Now, different players are effectively receiving different versions of the same product, because their filters and expectations don't line up. The chaos later surfaces in contradictory feedback, right? This is also why you have people say, wow, this game is the best, and it makes so much sense. And you have another commenter and another feedback saying, this game makes no sense. The balancing is all over the place. Nothing makes sense. Both of those are true. We set that up. Both of those are true. Slide 4! Ooh, let's get to the details. So we did some scanning on some games here for examples. We could reinforce, let's see, this is our reviews. This is what you guys look at and determine if it's good or bad or decent. How much did it sell? You know, should we copy them? Anything like that. Now, we have the complaints. These are the things that we just talked about, right? These are our symptoms. Bugs, janky combat, issues, depth, right? Great concept. Wow, this has been a popular one this week, right? Good concept. I would love to love this game. You ever get those reviews, right? Like, I wish I could love this game. I wish I could leave a good review here. Did you guys ever hear that one? It's very popular, right? When we're like, please deliver, please, please. I would love to love this, right? Now we also have the root cause, right? The root cause. This is the underneath that we just talked to you guys. Surface layer, symptoms, my stomach hurts. Underlying issue that you will not get from the consumer. This is your job to learn, a professional's job to learn, right? Depth and delivery, right? Great concept, shallow, tedious loop, right? Loop and fantasy delivery. Turnbound, right? You guys remember that one? The backpack battle's like RNG, it's unclear, leads to balancing issues, right? But maybe they don't understand. Clarity and agency, right? It could have nothing to do with balance. It's their understanding, right? So we're failing something there. Post-launch recent dip, Airborne Empire, pacing and content and quality of life. And again, it is never about pointing out, look at this, these games are bad or these games are good. All of those things are flavors, right? Anything could be bad, anything could be good. It's if I just like it or I don't like it. This is not what this is about. This is about the craftsmanship. This is the craftsmanship of it, right? We need to learn these. This is your job as designers. This is your job as publishers, right? You guys have to oversee these things and make sure that they hit these marks. This stuff is for the consumers. This is your heat map of where you failed, where your craftsmanship is weak. Are we receiving this? We'll have questions at the end as well, by the way. Balance problems. I took some notes here. Balance problems might actually be information delivery failure, right? Too hard might actually be you failed to onboard. Hey, we were just talking about Slay the Spire, right? This game is too hard. Ascension 1 is too hard. It makes no sense. It's RNG. Well, there's a failure at onboarding there. They don't know how to think about the game. I come from that, actually. I'm a testament of that. I played for hours and hours and hours not knowing how to actually think about that game until someone taught me. You guys see that? So now I'm going to say it was too hard. If I didn't have that, I would say the game is too hard. It's not balanced, right? Because that's my experience, and the game failed me, right? We could take responsibility there, which means we have power to do something better. Too grindy. We've all heard this one, right? Too grindy. Could be progression framing. It could be temporal dilution. It could be insufficient decision density, right? We're not making enough decisions, so it's diluted and it feels grindy. It feels longer, right? Because there's nothing grabbing us there, right? Multiple seemingly unrelated complaints can come from one structural failure. That's why simply counting complaints isn't enough, right? It's not about the numbers here. These are just heat maps. We don't even need this stuff. It could be mostly positive. It could be absolutely positive and still have plenty of bad things where it could be improved. We proved this with Tiny Rogues, right? The goal is to ask what common system underneath these complaints could produce all of them. Right? They could all be coming from the same thing a lot of times. Failure to onboard is going to be RNG dependent, poor balancing, game doesn't make sense, way too hard. All of those things could be failure to onboard. All of those things. You guys getting that? Again, you guys can look up all these things by yourself. Just go look on Steam. Consumer report, symptoms. The craft analysis finds the disease. We just talked about that. The top layer and the bottom layer. H-Field High review. Combat is a frustrating mess. The map menu rarely lets me select tabs. Again, there's a friction here. There's a frustration here. H-Field, if you guys don't know, I think it's trying to be like the game Bully from back in the day that we grew up with. You guys remember the game Bully? Where you run around like high school and stuff like that? Ambitious little thing. What is a confused weapon? Wow, this is a popular one, right? What is a coin mark? So we're asking for answers about the dev's code words, right? You guys as designers and developers, you guys are going to make up your own language, but forget that we don't understand that language, right? So you guys can see here, we get this kind of stuff all the time, right? What the hell are you trying to say? I ask this at least once a day because I play so many games. What the hell are you saying here, right? We don't understand that language and you forget because you're too close to that work. Do you guys see how these will all feed into each other? So we start from the base, right? This will all feed into each other. It's all as clear as day, right? Delivery clarity failure, right? Great concept, but feels too shallow and manual in the boring parts. Data center, the loop, and fantasy and delivery failure, right? I think you're literally working in a data center here and you're connecting wires and stuff like that, right? They have a lack of pushing the player forward, giving them payouts, things like that, right? The reviews say I'm annoyed. The rubric says which fundamental created that annoyance. Because then you could start to predict these things before they happen. This is why they're so important. Remember, we are going over your competitive advantage right here. You guys can avoid all of this by just understanding this. You don't need the feedback. This already tells you that these things exist for a reason and that what gets caused from these things. This is why this is so important. This is preventative. This stuff is the magic. This is the bee's knees. These are the keys to the starship. Surface symptoms for structural problems. Confusion isn't just the player didn't understand. Ask why understanding failed. Frustration isn't automatically difficulty. Ask where unnecessary friction was introduced. Boredom isn't simply needs more content. This one means a lot to me. Boredom doesn't just mean it needs more content. This is another popular one because consumers will also think that symptom is caused by more content. I had a client. I'm going to give you guys a real story here. I had a client here, and in the middle of one of our calls, he stopped for a second and said, "Oh my God, it just hit me out of nowhere." And I said, "What? What just hit you?" And he said, for the last like 6 months, I've been banging out these content updates. And my community has been saying, I need more stuff. I need more stuff. And I would do these content updates that had like 60 items and add all of these things. And they would tell me the same thing. And he said it was so frustrating. I felt helpless. I keep adding stuff, but they keep saying the same thing, that it like feels boring and it needs more. And he said in that call, it finally connected. It finally hit him. That it wasn't the amount of stuff. It's that the player was doing the same thing and in the same place despite all of the stuff. All of the stuff that they were adding, that content that they were adding, wasn't changing the play space. It wasn't changing what the player was doing. It all felt and landed the same. And it finally hit them, all that wasted energy, all that wasted time, doing the wrong thing and trying to cure the symptom. This is real. This actually happened. I might even have a recording. So I'll never forget that one, right? We spend all this time diagnosing the problems and trying to repair the problems when it's not even going to get us further. Real example for you guys, right? This stuff is all for a reason. This stuff is all real. It may be pacing, it may be reward spacing, it may be lack of meaningful decisions, or poor framing. This is the Game Doctor lens. Stop treating the visible symptoms as the disease, right? If we could take anything from here. You guys dance in symptoms. You guys dance in random feedback. You guys WebMD your games every day, right? WebMD, you guys ask for reviews. You go to forums and just ask random people on the internet, right? And you expect to learn that way, and you say everything is unpredictable. We WebMD, and we just don't respect our craft. We have so much passion, but we don't respect our craft. Game Doctor fundamental rubric, right? We're just going to break some of the stuff down that we need to be talking about a lot earlier, that we talk about here every day to create answers. I'll give you guys a second to digest this stuff. So, when we talk about fundamentals, you might think, okay, fundamentals, I just need to learn this. Fundamentals is your umbrella. This is your umbrella. I'm giving you guys the stuff that now goes into it. All the categories of your basics, the same as music, right? Harmony and chords and chord progression and dissonance, right? These are your rules. The same thing here. Clarity and delivery, onboarding. These are your categories that you guys need to be good at, or you will get symptoms. Yeah. Onboarding. Does the game teach concepts, not just controls? Do you guys see how every single game will fail here? Again, 10 out of 10 games will fail here. We don't even leave the starting area good. This is why you get reviews that are all over the place. Game is too hard, game is way too easy. Game is so confusing, makes no sense. Game is too simple, it's boring. Friction. What work is the player doing that creates no value? We have a clip of Exarch that just got sponsored a streamer, a friend of mine, and we have a clip of them going through this unnecessary friction and bugs and poor delivery of a brand new game that came out, that we also talked about was going to go through all of these problems. Because again, it just breaks these rules. It just breaks these rules. Feedback. Do actions produce legible, satisfying responses? Feedback is so important. Remember, that's why we're playing video games. We're not playing for your mechanics. We're not playing because you tell me +1. We're playing because of that feedback. We're playing because how you made that +1 feel. We're playing because how you made that loop feel. How you made that loot, that hit, that rare, that sword upgrade that might be just giving me a +1. How you made that feel. This is a very big one, right? We forget that we're making video games. Pacing. Does attention rise, breathe, and return at the right cadence? Structural integrity. Do systems support each other or create downstream repairs? Is it cohesive? Replayability and loop. Does the loop create meaningful return desire? We are in a market right now that chases this word, right? We all know that. Our market right now loves this word, right? You guys see it on every store page. Infinite replayability, no two runs are the same, right? Very palatable in today's market, but no game can actually create it. All the games that sell it, you go to the reviews and they say, man, it just gets so boring so fast. It's just tiring. I wish this game had like more content, replayability, right? Nobody knows how to create that. We have clients that are showing how to do it, right? There's fundamentals here. We're not creating it the right way. We're looking in the wrong places. Gamification. Are rewards framed so numbers become motivation? right? We do frame numbers. Did you guys know that numbers don't inherently mean anything in our video games? You can't just say a number and it means something. But a lot of y'all design as if you just gave me a number and it's supposed to have a story. And it's supposed to mean something. This character has 20 strength. Well, you didn't tell me what that 20 means. I have no reference point. What does that 20 mean? Is that good or bad? And if I don't give you any other information, it doesn't have a story. It doesn't mean anything. You guys see how this is a fundamental failure? I don't need to see the game. That's just how it works. Right? Do you guys see that? I'm not even talking about a specific game here, but I bet you could think of 50 games that do it. And they all are poor because inherently, fundamentally, it doesn't work. You can't just say he has 20 damage and expect us to know if it's good or bad. If you go up to a new person and say, hey, this guy, man, look at his strength. His strength is 20. They'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't know if that's good or bad. If you ask them if it's good or bad, they wouldn't know. In one game, it could be good. In another game, it could be bad. Because of the references, because of the story. So fundamentally, I don't need to see the game. It's bad. That's what fundamentals are. Right? It's answers. There's logic. It's cheat codes, right? We'll find real world examples for you guys. You guys got that? I'm gonna keep going. Anyway, the thing here is these are not isolated. These are not isolated. Poor onboarding can create balance issues, perceived balance issues. Poor onboarding can create perceived balance issues. Bad delivery or bad information can create unnecessary difficulty. Bad pacing can make otherwise good progression feel grindy. You guys see that? They connect. Fundamentals is a foundation of a house. It's not one pillar is important. The pillars are important. They can make each other look bad. We call this secondhand shortcoming. Secondhand shortcoming, right? That's why it's so tricky. Do you think your consumers are going to find that for you? Right? Respect your craft. You guys have to study this stuff. You guys need to at least understand it. Even if you don't know how to secure it all, you need to understand it. You need to know that it exists. Let's keep going. All right, here we have case study. Agefield High shows basic polish is not optional. It's not extra. It's not if we get around to it. 33%. 33%. Surface complaints, combat, camera frustrations, of course, right? Map menu interactions, janky movement, cutscenes, save and load friction. How many of these do we get a week? Actually, I just tweeted about one where they're boasting about adding a brand new mechanic to their game. It was save and quit. It was save and quit. It's like me boasting that your chicken is fully cooked before I deliver it to the table. Are we shooting that low? Is that where our craftsmanship's at? That we need the brownie points and we need to let you know that the chicken is fully cooked? Think about it, right? Just think about it. Root diagnosis. This is not one bug. It's structural trust erosion, right? Players lose trust and faith in this game. It starts to feel cheaper, right? Falls apart. Controls, UI, camera, save state, animation, feedback, and all tell the player the product is unstable, that it's not good, right? They didn't decide that. The product said that. Structural integrity, friction, and feedback, right? All important. And we all said this ties back into that fundamental groundwork. Again, we're going to keep tying that back in. It all leads to the fundamentals. That's why we keep using this word. And you guys remember, fundamentals is the umbrella. All right? Anything important that I didn't talk on here? Another thing that we could talk about here is, could we have seen all of these things before launch? Is anything new here? Is anything new and unpredictable here? I think not, right? Okay, so anytime we do that, it's not an I told you so or anything. It's saying, hey, this is exciting, because that means that we can see these things. That means we can do something about it. If we could see it, we could do something about it, right? That's exciting. There's answers. It's scary when we see this stuff and we're like, oh my God, we couldn't have seen any of this coming. Then we need to be worried, right? But right now, cool. We can see all of this coming. We don't need reviews. We don't need feedback, right? We don't need to get to the symptoms. Cool. Let's keep going. Case study, Turnabound. Turnabound. Let's see here. 66%. Combat feels heavily RNG dependent. Going first can basically decide the match. Underlying agency and fairness perception, right? Remember, failure to onboard, failure to teach. Their perception is going to tell us something different, right? So this is one piece of feedback from the consumer, right? Which is a heat map, but this could be pacing issues. This could be delivery issues. This could be onboarding issues. This could just be friction issues, right? Why are there no hover over descriptions of effects and buffs? So the industry has taught us standards. Hey, when I hover over this, I'm looking for an answer. Did you give me that answer? Where's the answer? Why do I not know what these things do? You guys remember earlier we looked at, hey, what is coin mark? What is that, right? You made up a language, but we don't understand it. Clarity and information delivery goes back to the fundamental category. All of it. All of it. When players cannot predict why they won or lost, every outcome starts to feel like bad balance. Strong fundamentals give players a usable mental model before asking them to accept the randomness. If they're having a hard time and they don't understand, of course they're going to think it's RNG. Of course. If you have dark meta in your game and we lose, we're also going to think it's the dark meta's fault. It's because you gated me. Because it's there. What else do we have to grab? Of course they're going to think it's these things. They have to put the blame somewhere. They don't understand. When I was losing in Slay the Spire for many years before chat taught me, not the game, before chat taught me concepts, I thought the game was just whack. I thought it was just kind of weak, right? You go around, you click on some cards, you click on the shiny ones because they're rare, and you kind of just die over time. It's not up to me, right? Because that's how I played. The game taught me to click cards. If they're attacking, block. Do damage. And I was doing those things, and I would die because there's so many concepts I didn't understand. So again, it's that perceived reality. Whose fault is that, right? And if we could take responsibility there, we could do something about it. Data center, the great idea, shallow loop trap. The concept is genuinely sick. There is a good game hiding in there somewhere. Man, I see this almost every day, dude. I've seen this in like 3 games this week. Man, I want to love this game. It needs time in the oven. Man, I would love it. We'll look up some games later, and we'll probably reference this because it probably comes back to this one. This is a popular one, right? Very popular. Your idea is not the problem, right? We have plenty of ideas. We have plenty of good ideas. You guys probably have made hundreds of thousands of dollars off your idea that you did not capitalize on and delivered poorly already, and I see that on Steam every day. It becomes less data center management and more full-time server replacement simulator. So I like to call this creating chore for the player. Right? Oh man, we make so much chores by accident. It's the same way we make math games by accident, right? We make memory games by accident. I say this every day. We just make these games that we don't intend to make, and we make them by accident, right? And it doesn't add any satisfaction to the game. Very popular. Novelty opens the door. As chat was also saying earlier, this is what gets us to come to your store, your trailers, your ideas, your advertising. This is the part that you guys do very well, right? You guys all focus on getting wish lists, getting Steam downloads, pleasing the algorithm gods, right? You guys all do that very well, which is the novelty. It gets us to you. It gets us interested. It gets us to download your demos. But what happens after that? What happens to the reviews? What happens to us wanting to tell friends about your game? Your product then has to show up. It's not you. It's not your advertising. That's not going to do the job anymore. That just got us there. Now your product has to speak for itself, and most of the time it can't. When we understand this, you're going to see it everywhere. I promise you this. Loop design keeps the player. If the boring maintenance becomes the dominant repeated state, players stop describing the fantasy and start describing the chores. We're not talking about the game anymore and the fantasy anymore. We're talking about the chores that the dev created here, right? That moment to moment. You guys see that? Let's keep going. We also call that last one temporal dilution, by the way. That stuff turning into chores over time, or something that starts fun and turns into a chore, right? That temporal dilution. Patching symptoms is not learning. We're in feedback culture, right? I like to think of it as WebMD culture, right? We love getting symptoms. We love getting symptoms. We praise it. We boast about it. It's the culture. It's the whole culture. Feedback culture. Without your feedback, consumers, give us your feedback. Help us. We don't understand fundamentals, so we're just give us the symptoms, please. One of the biggest traps in development, also, I just want to preface here, if you go to GameDoctor.io, we have a huge article on this talking about feedback versus understanding. It's on the website right now. You can go read that in your own time. Player says X, so developer changes X. Review says Y, so we patch Y. Discord complains about Z, so we add Z. Now the game is being pulled around by symptoms. Man, this is a popular one, right? Even if the patch helps the game, the developer may not understand even why it helped. Then they carry the original misunderstanding to their next game. This speaks to why we keep having repeated problems in the industry. Because we are not learning. We're not getting better at fundamentals. We're patching. We're band-aiding, right? The band-aids. Player complained about this. They don't understand, so I'll add more tooltips. We don't understand the rooted problems. We don't understand the diagnosis. We understand the symptoms, and we're even learning from it. We go to WebMD, and we're just trying to fix everything. So, do you guys see how this can waste time? Waste development. We shouldn't have even gotten this far, so now we're already wasting a lot of other things. We wasted development to even get here. All because we simply did not understand the fundamentals. Right? All always goes back to the same solution. Fixing a symptom can improve a product without improving the developer. Fundamentals create transferable knowledge. Studying fundamentals is transferable knowledge. This is how you get your expanded results. This is why I'm shouting off the roof. This is why this is your competitive advantage. These things will keep paying dividends. This is how you save development time. This is how you save your launches. This is how you save the I'm listening now. This is how you save the I'm sorries. Do you guys see that? Then it's the opposite effect. So we're only looking at the negative things that come from here. All the positive things that come, right? Player loves your game. It's already there on launch. You have more free time. You can celebrate your launch, right? Let's make launches that we could celebrate, right? That's what I always tell my clients. That's the spot we want to be in. Now, players love your games. They want to tell their friends about it. More want to get involved because they're having an awesome experience. Not a let's wait and see. Right? We're not even getting to the gravity, the genre gravity complex, right? But now players want to start talking about your game. Did you guys ever see that numbers breed numbers? Right? So if everyone's having a good time now, it's the opposite effect. Players want to get in on it. I promise you, if you're walking down the street and you see a crowd of people all hyped up and watching something in the center, you naturally want to know what's in that center. You want to get involved. You want to know what's going on. Hey, what are they watching? Right? Is there a street performance? What's happening? It's the same with video games, right? Do you guys see how now this is wasted advertising? We want to please the algorithm gods, but our product is not doing that. Our product can please the algorithm gods too, because we want to get in on the good thing. It all ties in back to fundamentals. It's this one shoe fits all, guys. Fundamentals create transferable knowledge. Write that down. Write it on your foreheads. Write it on a sticky note. Fundamentals are this is how I invest in myself. This is how I make the market not unpredictable. This is how I create answers. This is how I create it so that the feedback is I love your game. I can't wait for more. Because that's what we're shooting for. A good launch is I can't wait for more of that. Then you succeeded. Game launch, review. Man, this game's awesome. I can't wait for more. Just needs more. You're killing it. You're killing it. Next. Post-launch damage control is design debt with interest. Man, this is the best one. Man, it's very normal to launch and band-aid. And you guys also say that we never have enough time or development. We don't have enough money. We don't have it. But we also waste it with interest. Every avoidable confusion complaint becomes a production task. What players say? I'm confused, I got lost, so we patched tutorials, we had extra tooltips. Fundamentals, clarity, delivery, onboarding. Guys, back to the umbrella. Back to the umbrella, right? Solves all of it. Bad balance to RNG. Emergence turning, rules rewriting, nerfs, buffs, panic, right? Not RNG. Agency, feedback, readability, right? Maybe onboarding. It feels tedious, shallow. Maybe it feels grindy, right? Feels grindy. Content as Band-Aid. Wow, this is my client, remember, right? Oh, I gotta add more stuff. They're bored. Loop rework, progression patching. Fundamentals. You guys see that? So this will prevent this, which then prevents this. Because you're gonna pay the debt either way. And you're also gonna complain about it. There's never enough time. But now our reviews are on the line. We're paying that debt. Now our reviews are on the line. Now we're damage controlling. Now we're starting behind the starting line. Now we're losing out on people being excited about our game and telling their friends about our game and pleasing the algorithm gods because people are having an awesome time and it's spreading. We just threw that all in the trash. We threw it all away. You don't avoid fundamental problems by not learning fundamentals. You just pay for the lesson later with interest. You're going to do it no matter what. Except later it's more expensive. Now reviews are already falling. Launch momentum is damaged. Refund decisions are happening. Public perception is forming. Streamers are showing the problems. Developers are scrambling. And resources are being redirected. We also all heard the developer responses, right? We know, but changing that now would require rebuilding too much. How many of those, it's too late? That used to be my favorite line. It's the most popular line. It's too late. I wish we could. It's too late. Maybe in our next game. It's too late. Save and quit? Oh man, that would take so much reworking. We can't add it now. You guys know that? Because it's going to cost us more with interest. It doesn't get easier to fix later. It gets harder. You guys devs, you guys know this. This is not new. Don't act like I'm telling you something new. You guys know this stuff. If you can even fix it later. If you can even. So now we bleed reviews and we might have to pay that debt anyway if it's something we can even fix. Fundamentals allow us to solve problems before those symptoms exist. Feedback should refine the product, but not be the first time you discover that fundamental work. Post-launch feedback should ideally uncover edge cases, right? They should not be teaching you the basics of your own craft. Your consumer should not be teaching you the basics of your craft. We play games every day. We play hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games a year. How many times I have to say, wow, they didn't even learn to dribble yet. Wow, they worked so hard. The art is so good. They spent all of this time. Man, they didn't even learn to dribble yet. Right? The basics. The menus don't work properly, right? None of it's done properly. The basics. We're not questioning passion here. Remember that. We're questioning basics. You're showing up to the NBA and you don't know how to dribble yet. So again, fundamentals don't eliminate iteration. They stop iteration from becoming emergency surgery down the road. Right? Debt with interest. Ready? Work exercise review. I got lost. I had no idea what to do. Right? What do I do? So chat, I want you guys to ask yourselves, let's try this out here. What could be the problems here? What are they saying? Right? What are they saying? What do you guys think is happening underneath here? What could it be? Symptom, confusion, frustration, and drop-off. Right? Maybe compounding issues. They're getting frustrated with other mechanics now. Bad onboarding. Right? What do I do? Bad onboarding. Root cause, onboarding. Delivery, right? Things not being communicated properly and being presented to the player properly. Yeah, I got lost. They asked for a map, right? The Band-Aid. Information hierarchy, right? How to process the space. Right? Oh yeah, let's add yellow paint, right? Let's just force it, right? So what concept did we require before we taught it? right? What did they need to understand? What connections did they need to make? Did we just instructionalize? Why are they getting lost? Maybe getting lost also. Let's say they're getting lost in how they should be performing in combat, how they should be playing in combat, right? How they should be thinking. Maybe I'm lost in what kind of cards I should be clicking on in Slay the Spire. So I could be getting lost, right? Because the game does not teach you. So my experience is very valid. Balance complaints, content complaints. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to look up real reviews. We're going to look up real reviews, right? And what do you guys think would happen here if you did understand these fundamentals, right? What would have changed? Do you guys think if you understood proper onboarding and delivering information, how to prepare the player to digest and operate your product, do you think that this would happen as much? Of course not, right? Of course not. Because we have power there, but we need to see the problem first. And we need to see there's also a solution, and we get to work towards this. If you guys want to just release the power and just say it's all out of my hands, you could gamble. You could say the market's unpredictable and just keep winging it. If you respect your craft like that, or don't respect your craft like that, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to just keep winging it if it's working for you. But if it's not, there's answers here, right? Get better at your craft. There's answers. There's answers. So why don't we do a little workshop here, right? Before we jump into the next one, we probably have another place to do it, but let's do some real world examples. What do you guys say? Just real quick. Let's have some fun. Let's go browse around Steam. I'm going to show you guys real tangible stuff. Oh, actually, we have a famous clip here. I say famous. I like to say famous. Let's see here. Let's check this out. Check this out. This is just from a couple days ago. I love this one. I didn't actually get to watch this clip, but I was in it, so. Where did we post this? Let's check this out. Let's check this out. What the? I did it not play. Incremental games. Okay, this is just from the other day. Let's see. All right. This happened live just a couple days ago. I don't know if this is gonna appear in the VOD, this audio. Let me do this, see if it fixes it. Alright, you guys ready? Incremental space where everything is so. Can we hear it? Can we hear it? We still make it engaging like the Big Bank game you played yesterday. Let's answer that. Echo. How about now? If we put the echo, Soren, it is not gonna come through in the VOD. But it's echoing, so I can't do it. Well, yeah. This is an echo, right? This is echoing, right? Still make it engaging like the Big Bank game you played yesterday. Let's answer that. Here, I'm gonna turn this off. How's that? Live. I don't know. How do I incremental? How do I pull up incremental games? Let's see. You guys are gonna see this, how clear it gets. Ready? Let's take a gander here of something that I haven't heard of. So this is the one we looked at. Slot grind. What is this? Okay, slot machines taking a clever idea. They're slots on sale, super cheap. 80% already, down 20% in a low amount of reviews, which is awful. Let's see. What are people complaining about? So if I had to guess here, like every incremental game, I'm gonna guess that there's no ownership. I'm gonna guess that it's very stale. I'm gonna guess that this is copy and pasted from every other incremental game. Now, I could be very wrong. Maybe there's just bugs and it's laggy. I don't know. But in general, those are the flavors I usually get, right? We're gonna do this live. I don't freaking know, right? We pick a game. Slot grind, when did this come out? Cool. Brand new. Came out yesterday. There we go. Okay. Okay, so again, the reason we're giving you guys this stuff is not like foo-foo. It's not mysticism. I'm trying to show you guys that these are tangible. You guys can go use this today. These fundamentals are going to be here, whether we agree or not, underlying every single video game launch. The same with film, same with music, same with cooking, right? Culinary arts, right? You have to respect your craft whether you agree upon it or not, all right? This is your advantage. So let's see how this, let's see. Came out yesterday. There we go. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look because the industry is so unpredictable. No AI content, blah, blah, blah. Good. All right, the first one, negative review. I'm pretty torn. I was very engaged for the first 30 minutes. Okay, sounds normal, right? Because it's a new game, it's the honeymoon phase, right? The beginning is gonna be the freshest thing. And then I really felt like this may be a nice game to kill time on. So low expectations, period, right? Low expectations is what I'm getting out of this. Got it. However, the progression feels like a downward facing exponential curve. It just turns into an idle where you actually are able to purchase upgrades after 5 minutes with an almost insignificant boost. I do, however, love visuals and concept. Oh, interesting. So it sounds like it's mindless and boring, that there is no friction, and that they're just sitting there bored out of their mind. They already had low expectations, is what I'm getting from this, but it wasn't exciting. It just felt like the numbers were going up. Interesting, right? Wait, how did we never even look at this game, but somehow we had a ballpark of what the issues would be? So again, with this workshop here, I want you guys to see that there's fundamental rules here, these different categories, so that we can even predict what these things are going to say. Now here, we didn't even have to predict on the specific game. Here, we just used the genre, because this is a systemic thing, right? And most of us use genre as our box, which is a consumer word that we now use as our paintbrush, right? And so we follow the same problem. So we didn't even have to look at a specific game to know. Do you guys see how it goes even deeper? We don't even need to know the game and the fundamental rules that it's breaking. Now I could just use the box that you're copying and attach the rules. Because these fundamentals are not going to disappear, even if I guessed a game. Somebody explain. Somebody in class explain. Let's keep going. Game is very short. And one of the less engaging and interesting oh, wait, there's less engaging and interesting. Notice the same theme in all these complaints because fundamentally these rules, right? Still a theme here. Game is very short and one of the less engaging and interesting. How do we elevate incremental space? I was just asked. How do we elevate the incremental space where everything is frictionless? Interesting. Interesting. Sounds like we're being lost in each other and what we sell each other of what genres are supposed to be about. It seems like we're missing the obvious clues. Interesting. Once you get a few upgrades, it basically turns into an idle game. Oh wait, so they don't want idle and numbers go up. They want engaging things. They want to be engaged. They want to feel clever and ownership. Wait a second, how did we predict these reviews before we ever looked at this random game that was launched yesterday? Strange. Okay, let's keep going. You just sit around until you buy the next upgrade. Oh, wow. So there is no... It's not engaging their brain. There's nothing to crunch on here. It just feels like, okay, I'm going down the rails here, which is copy and paste bad incremental game. Or I should say dated incremental game. And then you repeat it, and you repeat it, and you repeat it. That doesn't sound exciting. That doesn't sound engaging. Remember that we also just looked at that same fundamental failure in the data center game that we were just looking at on the slide, where players were talking about the same complaints, right? Do you guys see that? I need you guys to... 99% of the time, they're the same category. The same complaints, game to game. So that means that they all have one solution, and that one solution solves all of these problems. Do you guys see that? That's what fundamentals are. So this is the same data center complaints. Same thing. With friction? That sounds like frictionless and copy and paste, right? There's nothing to grab here. There's nothing to tell your friend about because they've all had the same experience at the same time. Okay. Got it. Got it. Fun for a while, but endgame, there's not much to do. All the themes of there's nothing going on. You end up sitting there for a couple hours, upgrading small things. Anyway, these people don't even understand. So let's keep going. So the point here, one, is that every single complaint is talking about a fundamental issue. But now what we're also trying to prove is that when you study fundamentals, you'll understand this industry so well that you can pick a random game and figure out what's going to be wrong with that game or what possibly could go wrong with that game before you even look at the game. That's the point of this, right? When you're that plugged in. We do this live every day. Do you guys think that there's answers? Do you guys think that this market is unpredictable? Does it sound like it's unpredictable? Does it sound like it's unpredictable? Or does it sound extremely predictable? Does it sound like we keep having the same problems? Does it sound like we're pouring passion and years of hard work into our games and getting the same outcomes? You guys tell me. Do you guys think demos fixed this here? Do you guys think their demos fixed it? Again, and I can only show you guys. You don't have to trust me. Go look yourselves, because these things will repeat. That's why I'm giving you the lens, so you can go study it yourself. So you can go find it. So you can go, oh my God, look, this is the same fundamental thing, the thing that SD was talking about. This is the same underlying issue that keeps happening. Hey, look, they do keep complaining about the same things, and we keep repeating the same things. Right? I just had to guess here. I've never seen this game in my life. All right, so let's do it for real. Right? Sure. Let's go over to Steam, right? Let's see what we can find here. Last week I was extremely embarrassed because I was browsing around and everything is trending mixed, dude. Everything. Now remember that today's workshop is your competitive advantage, because as more stuff comes out, as more and more things are being released every day, we agreed this in the beginning. We all agreed. We don't need any scientific, right? This is just basic knowledge. The industry is growing. More and more stuff are going to be added every day. More and more and more fodder. But that means that craftsmanship, your ability to deliver something powerfully, is going to be more and more important, because there's going to be so much fodder, so much density, so many people trying to do something faster, skipping out on the craftsmanship. I'm talking that $1 charger that you get at the dollar store compared to that one that everyone's talking about that lasts forever. Right? That's going to be so important, right? Exarch, we already talked about this well before launch. This game is already at 80% and trending downward. Severed Gods, this game could have easily had thousands of reviews. Thousands. We played this game for 5 minutes, dude. 5 minutes. I said it's the worst crafted game I've played this year. Do you guys think that there's craftsmanship issues here, or do you guys think it's algorithm problems? Do you guys think it was a passion problem? I had to refund this. Literally in the very first fight. It looks like they didn't make it that long either. Unplayable. 5 attempts at resetting. Wait for it to cook. Wait for them to fix their issues, right? Craftsmanship, right? Fundamentals. Cool concept, right? We love your ideas. We showed up. So that means your advertising worked. The part that you guys care about worked. Get wish lists. Get people to download. Please the algorithm gods. Advertise. Twitter posts, right? Oh, my game is good. My algorithms just hate me. The algorithms just hate me. Okay, we're here. Now what? Oh, you got our attention. I know you were trying really hard to get our attention. Now what? Something is not working. Something is not working. Shout out to the one person who actually did their job. Why are we learning and need to hear this from the consumers? To be honest, this person is correct. From a professional, this person is right. And I'm sick and tired of not being able to talk about it. I'm sick and tired of us not saying, hey, this person failed. Let's just do better. Right? It's the same if we were on a team playing a sport. Hey, dude, you got to stop missing these passes. Right? Let's work on it. Why are we so fearful of that? Why can we not have ownership of our mistakes so we can start to accept that we need to work on our craft? We're allergic to it because we cover it up with passion. Oh my God, they worked very hard on it. Do you guys think we're questioning passion? We're questioning the craftsmanship. Your passion will not get it there alone. It's your skill set and your craftsmanship, man. And so they're 100,000% right. We made it 5 minutes. Go look on GameDoctor.io. I'm not going to take the time to do it right now. Of course the consumers are going to feel this. I'm surprised it's going this well. This is one of the worst products I've felt all year. This could have been thousands of reviews, easily. Thousands. Thousands. This could have done so well if we just respected the craft. Tillspinner, how we doing? Mostly trending negative, not even good reviews, mostly positive. You guys think they had passion here? Do you guys think they worked hard here? We could go look in there, should we? Do you guys want to take the time here? I don't know. I mean, there could be bugs. I just know I actually got sent this in my inbox. I got sent this game for free in my inbox. I didn't even care to download it because, again, there's just a bunch of other things here, like lack of artistry, right? It looks like the same game I've played a million times, and those same games that I played a million times all have the same issues, right? So I didn't even bother. Now, I could be wrong, right? I like this game. It's the worst ones are the ones where they want to like it, right? Or you see good reviews that are also just talking negatively. That means it was a gamble, right? It's beautiful, well designed, but it should not have been released in its current state. Wow. You guys see that there's more people than ever complaining about the craftsmanship? Remember today's theme. How you get ahead in this market. We're going to get more than ever games releasing non-stop, skipping all the steps. If you want your advantage, you have to start delivering stuff that's well crafted. Not your ideas, not anything. Actually, go steal the most popular idea out there right now that's not delivering and just deliver it fundamentally solid, and their game will now be advertising for you. We'll talk about that in just a little bit here. Ultimately, just slay the spire, right? Also remember why I didn't even download the game and I got sent it for free. That's basically inferior in every way. So a worse game that's popular on the market, right? Builds and unlocks are limited. Many of the companions, basically the equivalent of relics, are situational at best. They're just plain bad. So imagine artifacts that are not exciting or lending to the play space. That's that play space cohesion that we talk about, right? The play space is actually failing here, and it doesn't feel good, which is leading to other frictions. Some of the later encounters are just so grossly overtuned. And again, we all know that this could be many things. It could be undertuned. It could be lack of them understanding. It could be lack of delivering proper information of what's important and how they should be playing and scaling, right? It could be so many things here, right? These are just symptoms. It's a heat map. The shop system is great, though. You could buy cards and upgrade at any time, including in the middle of encounters, and they're available immediately, so it looks like it has some novel ideas. It's neat. More games should do that. After a bit more time on it, I've also encountered numerous bugs, mainly related to unlocks. So there you guys go, man. Like, this stuff is rudimentary, right? Every game, same stuff. Unbelievably disappointing. So this sounds like somebody that was excited that got let down again, which sounds like the same as the other consumers that always are the same complaints. Of course, you got us to your store. Your advertising worked, right? Your advertising worked. Your algorithms worked. Now what happens is it didn't spread because it's not good. It made a good first impression. We call this the honeymoon or the first date. Notice that the incremental games talked about the same stuff, by the way, the same complaints. That incremental game we just went over, right? Good first impression. It was good at first, good in the beginning, right? And then it felt dull. Remember, they had the same complaints. Fundamentals, right? 3 distinct characters with different mechanics, but it has so many cons, I won't even bother to list the few pros. Oof. Cons. Almost zero adaptability. Yes, this is very important on today's market, especially if you're trying to create replayability. You can upgrade each card once, but for most cards, the upgrades are so minor. Oh man, I would turn a game right off. We see this almost every day. Wow, you upgraded your card, +1 damage. Do you guys see how even the consumers understand this design? Now, they can't explain it to you. They can't teach you. But they are the heat map. They're showing you your design is dated. That's what they're saying here. I need you guys to be able to decipher this. If you're deciphering, oh my god, it's a balancing problem. Oh my god, I need more cards. If you guys are deciphering anything like that, you're not reading it correctly. You can upgrade each card only once. The upgrades are so minor. It's not worth to spend any resources on it. And you can also upgrade like 3 or 4 cards during a run anyway. So they're saying that there's no payout. Also, then it's not feeling good. We don't have the payout, right? Like the gamification part, why we play video games, that like I hit, right? When you're upgrading something in a video game, we need that to hit. That is a feel good moment because all of your other products in your industry, they're delivering that to us. They're saying, hey, this is going to feel really good. Here you go. Right? So when we get to play yours and we upgrade and it's just like, oh, Well, this feels terrible, right? Not only does it feel not good, right? They're also saying that with the rest of the mechanics, it's not cohesive. It doesn't make sense. It's not even worth it. So now we have a structural failure. So it's not singular, right? Remember when we talked about multiple structures, multiple pillars? They're affecting each other, right? So now this is getting complex. This sounds like a big underlying issue, right? It's multi-purposed. Anyway, do we have to keep going here? There was a famous one. Killer Bean, it's on sale right now. This game had all the hype. This game could be at 8,000 reviews right now, right? It had all the hype, it had all the attention, the algorithms worked. Everyone was like ready for this game to hit. It has all the window shopping effect, and it got destroyed on launch. You guys know another game that did that recently? Rogue Core. Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core. Man, the decisions they made there and the fundamental rules they broke, and they're still trying to fight their way out of mixed, I'm pretty sure. Do you guys think that's how they wanted that to go? You guys think that's how they wanted that to go? Do you guys think that their success and their numbers from their previous game did anything for them? Did that speak to their craftsmanship? Did it speak to their fundamentals? They had the numbers, right? They must be good developers then. We should just copy them. Yeah, see, it doesn't work that way, right? So now this guy's been damage and controlling, and we're listenings, right? And all of that stuff. Do we have a release one? Do we have a don't worry, we understand? Do we have the damage control? Fixes. Reworking the game. Reworking the whole system. We're reading your reviews. Rogue Core is currently at 50%, guys. Do you think because they dropped Deep Rock Galactic that all of a sudden their skill set is good because they had a successful game? Do you guys think that their fundamentals are good? Anyway. Let's see. Are these familiar or are these unique? Let's find out. I don't think I've ever negatively reviewed a game I absolutely adore before. Yeah, this looks like a game that you want to love, right? There's a game philosophy I really like that encourages the inclusion of enough gameplay quirks, large or especially small, that a player can create their own vision of how a cool play would go down when actually being able to do it. Cornered in the building, shoot the window, jump out, fighting an enemy with a riot shield, deflect a bullet behind their... Killer Bean is a game that gives you a million ways to tackle a fight, and they're all very satisfying to pull off. However, this game has extremely noticeable flaws that make it frustrating to play at times. Missions go on way too long. Temporal dilution. Fundamental problem, right? Vehicles clipping on pretty much every wall. Again, this is just craftsmanship. The game's graphics are very Robloxian flavor, right? It's flavor. Killer Bean himself, maybe 2 lines for each action that play every time. Okay, so just like frustration, right? It seems like they keep using one-liners and stuff that are then repeating over and over, which is another fundamental rule, which is the person that starts playing your game is not the person that's coming back to your game. Right? This is just another fundamental rule. This should never happen because you understand those fundamentals. It's the same with cutscenes. Right? Cutscenes. We all want that cool, epic, big boss cutscene when we first go into a fight. Do you guys want to see that for the 6th time? Do you guys want to see that for the 7th time? No, right? Now, did you ever do you ever play an old school game that makes you watch it every time? How do you guys think we got the fundamentals where we are? We went through those complaints. People have taught us this. That's why this is a fundamental rule, right? So you can do those awesome cutscenes. It doesn't mean that we don't want them. That's not what to learn. We love them. But we love them the first time. We love them maybe even the second time. And then we need to skip them. So it's a fundamental rule, right? Because it's the same with you. If you played a product, you might love that cutscene. But if you died 4 times, do you want to watch that cutscene 4 more times? Frustratingly waiting to try the fight again? No, it's a fundamental rule, right? Because the person that starts playing your game is not the person that comes back to your game. We don't want the same things. So we do the first time and the first and the second time we hear that voice line, we like it. The 5th time we hear that voice line, we hate it, right? Do you guys see that? It's a fundamental rule. This doesn't matter to the game. It doesn't matter. So if you learn those rules, you understand for all the games, fundamental rules. Is the game fun? Yes and no. The game is easy to put down. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Let's go back to... The point here is you can always see that every single complaint and failure of craftsmanship will always point towards fundamentals. The basis of the foundation. Always. Always. Notice that it's never a unique case. It's never unique. It's always the basis of all video games. So, that means the opposite. If you guys learn basics, if you learn fundamentals, your craftsmanship will go better. Your design will go better, and you'll have better results, which produce more money, which produce more people talking about your game, and faster execution. All right? Let's keep going. Bop, 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 around. All right. Average, novelty, excellent fundamentals. So here's a really cool thing. I challenge anyone, I've been saying this for a while, to also show you that you don't even need to come up with a crazy good idea. That if you even have a average Joe idea, but you can deliver it to feel really good fundamentally, that you will have success. That you will have success. That's crazy to think about, right? Because it goes against everything that they're trying to tell you. That you just need this crazy hook, that crazy good idea. Novel idea with weak fundamentals. The trailer gets attention. Remember, we showed up. We showed up. Players find friction. Reviews turn into symptoms. Verse, familiar idea, excellent fundamentals. The trust builds quickly. The loop lends clearly, and players return. We want to keep playing that one. We want to keep playing that good game, right? That good game is that fundamentals, the ones where we don't have to complain. What do you guys think good game means? Right? The market is crowded with ideas. Craft is your scarce resource. Fundamentals is your answers. These are your cheat codes to get ahead. This one I just recently added yesterday, and I've been so excited about it. I have a new distinction here, so everybody write this down. A distinction for people that are not around the work is something that was once invisible becomes as clear as day because now we have a lens for it. We have words for it. Right? Great games create cravings. A fundamentally strong game can create demand that survives the end of the play session. Play, love, crave, search, and then return. So Absalom. Right? This is a real life example. This is something that's very passionate to me because this really happened to me. This really happened. Absalom creates a useful real life example. It wasn't merely enjoyable, it created a craving. It created a craving. It was so good. Can I get a 1 in chat if you guys were here live as that craving was developing? This stuff is not just made up words. This is real life, guys. This is real life. This craving was developed live. It was an itch I couldn't scratch. I could not scratch it enough. Do you guys see that power? Do you guys see the opposite? We're showing you guys the opposite effect now. Remember, all of this was what it's going to cost you. That interest you're going to pay because of your craft debt. Because skipping the fundamentals. The market's unpredictable. We talked all about what it's going to cost you and how it shows up the same. Now we're going to show you the opposite effect, right? Now if you start to deliver. After playing something excellent, you want more of that feeling. Thank you, chat. Showing me a pulse. Let's go. So you search for other games, right? I'm sure all the gamers in chat can attest to this, right? Can I get an amen? After playing something excellent, you want more of that. What other games like this? Devs, have you ever went around forums and said, looked around and you see them always having a forum saying, yo, is there other games like this? Is there any other games like this? Or is there any other games that do this better? Right? If it's the opposite, right? You guys see this all the time. We're gamers, right? Give me more of whatever I just had. Give me more of that. Or, hey, is there somebody that has this idea but actually knows how to deliver it, right? Now the whole genre becomes part of the customer search journey. So, you search for other games. Now, the whole genre becomes, this is called genre gravity. We have it at the bottom here. Again, this is brand new. This is a new idea that I'm testing. Which we already know exists, right? Because we know these feelings. Genre gravity. An exceptional game becomes a gravitational center in its category. Isaac! Yes, I was gonna say, does anybody know another popular one? How many people got into roguelikes and stuff like that and they reference games like Gungeon or Isaac? Have you guys heard this before? So, every time we do that, guess what? We're advertising for those games. Because it has genre gravity. It's when you deliver something so powerful, it's going to have this huge tail. Tiny rogues. Fascinating that you say that. Because that's by design. Now, is Ruby Dev still here? Did we not say that we were going to develop to be that? Did we not say that before it came out? So this shows us that it's by choice and design and craftsmanship. Right? Because we've decided that. We've decided, watch this. Everyone's going to want to be like this game. Genre gravity. We decided that live. I talked about this live before release. Guys, this is not a cheat code. This is not gambling. This is just straight fundamentals. I'm giving you guys literally the source code. Players leave the game looking for alternatives, but those alternatives can remind them why the benchmark was exceptional. I'm sure every gamer has felt this before, right? Damn, I want another game like this. But do you guys ever play a new game or a game that just came out and go, I played this and I'm just going, why am I not playing that other game? Anyone? I'm sure gamers have all felt this before. I'm sure developers have felt this before, right? You're playing somebody else's new game and you're like, isn't this just a bad version of this? Or like, while I'm playing this card game, but like, why don't I just play Slay the Spire? Why don't I just play Monster Train? Right? The benchmarks. The ones that have the gravity. You guys see that? So it slowly pulls you towards the well-crafted game. We've all felt this before, but we don't have a lens. Now we have a net lens for it. Genre gravity. That's what we're feeling here. We're feeling that the well-competent, well-crafted games pull us. Right? All gamers have felt this. And if we can't find it, we're going to ask, hey, I like this, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody else in the forum's going to go, hey, did you ever play this? Did you ever play that? What games are they going to pick? Are they going to pick the bad ones? No, they're going to pick the ones with the gravity. They're going to pick the ones that are pulling them, the ones that fundamentally deliver. Guys, remember, tie it back in. Your competitive advantage is being able to deliver your ideas fundamentally. Because it will keep advertising for you. It's paying dividends. Invest in yourself. Not your passion. That's not a question. Your craftsmanship. Because you cannot avoid it either way. Just because you say it doesn't exist doesn't mean it's not going to surface. You're going to pay the debt anyway. With your time and your craftsmanship. You're going to have the sorries, the we're listenings. We have to downsize. Right? We're going to get that. You're not going to avoid it no matter what. Just because you stick your head in the sand. But you could also cause this. A great game can turn a genre into a permanent acquisition channel. Every new release, streamer clip, recommendation list. We didn't even talk about this stuff, right? We said, hey, let's make Tiny Rogues everyone's favorite game. We decided it. We fundamentally crafted that, and now everyone talks about it. By design, not hope. As genre cells can reactivate the craving. So I want to talk about this because this is real life. So after Absalom, this was live. Over a week's time, I couldn't stop drooling about how good this was. So what happened is it created a genre craving. Before that, I did not have that craving. This is real life, y'all. Lock in. This is real life. This happens every day. So it created a craving. And I started saying, I need more like this, guys. Chat, is there any other games like this? Is there anything even close? And I started buying beat-em-ups. I started buying anything close, anything on the internet, anything that Google told me that was even remotely close. And when I got to those games, I found that that genre is so scarce. It's like the desert. There is not a lot of good ones. It's so scarce. And when I played the ones that were even remotely good, they were so rough. So rough, man. They were so bad. It was like impossible to find, man. It's so few and far between. And then again, it's the same thing. There is games with good ideas, but the execution was so bad. I'm playing new beat-em-ups that are now coming out after Absalom that are still delivering terribly. Delivering horribly. So, I started craving because of a game being so good. Now, do you guys see how that created an opportunity for those other games, its neighbors? We talk the opposite. This game is going to kill the other games, right? Do you guys ever hear this? PC Gamer likes to talk like this, right? That venom that they spread into the industry, so we all talk like it. Oh, this game is going to be the killer of this game. Blah, 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 blah. Right? This created a love for the genre and a love for this space, and I started seeking other ones. I started buying other ones. So that means if somebody else delivered a fundamentally competent and good game, so then I would have seen it. Oh my God, look at all these positive reviews. People are loving this product. Let me pick this one. You guys see now it's spreading, and this game is creating sales for the other good ones. Fascinating, right? This happened in real life. Live, not long ago. Other games advertise for you. So this is the opposite effect, right? When you are the benchmark, competitors do not only compete with you, they also keep your category alive. New competitor launches. Steam recommends them. A streamer covers the genres. They discover the games. Genre sales and trends. Genre craving reactives, right? Reactivates. So now you have a game out there, and if it's awesome, and another game reactivates that space. Wow, this is really good. Guess where they're coming next? Guess where they're coming next? They're looking for more good stuff like it. That's why it needs to be good. Now, let's say it's not good. Let's say it reactivates a craving and it's frustrating. We all see this in the forums, right? Hey guys, is there a good version of this game? Is there any game like it that's better? Is there any game without this annoying stuff? And then you see the gamers posting links on the forums. Hey, go play this one. This is the good one. Hey, go play that. Look at all that free advertising. You guys want to talk about algorithms? What about making a good product that we want to talk about? You guys see that? Did you, even the opposite, did you guys ever have a game so good that there is no other games near it? So then people say, no, this is really the only good one. Now it just shadows everything. Nah, it's only really this one. You could try out this. This one's okay. Go look yourselves. Don't trust me. Go look. I'm giving you the lens. Go look. You're going to see this in every forum. Every forum. You want to talk about advertising? Just deliver a good product. They're going to advertise for you. Trust me. Because we're hungry. We're hungry. I'm starved. I play hundreds and hundreds of games every year, and I'm starved. I'm famished. I cannot find good games for the life of me. Fundamentals, strong reviews, trust, benchmark status, category-wide marketing that you didn't even have to pay for. This is all for investing in yourself. Wild, right? Genre gravity. Make no mistake about it. You guys have all felt it and heard about it before. Or your game could advertise its replacement. This is the one you guys don't want to hear about. This is the one that's going to hurt your guys' egos. This is it right here. This is most games. Unfortunately, this is most of you and where most of you guys are going to land statistically. Statistically. I'm not the bad guy here. Statistically. The inverse is brutal. You discover an amazing idea. You get people excited, right? The part that you guys care about. The algorithms, the wish lists, right? All the charts, good numbers, right? The number slop, I like to call it. You get people excited. You prove that the demand exists. You did prove that we want it. We're hungry, right? But your craftsmanship doesn't fulfill it. The player doesn't stop wanting that fantasy. They stop believing that you're the one that can deliver it. They stop believing that you're the one that can deliver it. This one hurts. This is everything around Steam right now, right? You prove that we want it. You prove that we will show up. But you did not prove that you can deliver that product. Someone else can see that opportunity and they can make the fundamentally stronger version, the objectively stronger version. Your innovation gave them the roadmap and your audience. Now your game become the comparison. It's like X, but actually good, right? How consumers talk. It's the polished version of X. Hey, this is just that better version of that game. Pioneers versus mimics. Pioneering the craving does not guarantee that you own that gravity, that you own that category, right? It doesn't matter that you even came up with the idea. Fulfilling that craving does. Whoever fulfills that craving, whoever delivers that, is going to be the one that owns it, and you're going to be advertising for them. So, your great ideas that they tell you to have, it just takes a great idea. Your great idea can create a market But somebody else is going to become that market leader. The him. You guys see that? It's very fascinating, right? Did you guys know until recently, about 4 or 5 years ago, we talked about the oncoming storm of auto battler roguelikes. This is before we had any. People were asking me what the next trend was. Right? Can I get a 1 in chat? We've been talking about this for years. We always predict what's going to happen next. Always. That's not what I'm here to talk about. Anyway, we had no him. Right? These have been very hard to navigate because we keep creating the same problems. We created pretty cool ones. Right? We created pretty cool ones. But we didn't create any him, the market leader. Right? We didn't have the one you go to. Right? So we created the market, but we didn't have a leader. We have what? Guild Run, is it called? We have Guild Run now. So, if anybody talks about roguelike auto battlers, who do you think they're going to refer to now? Who do you think they're going to refer to? And guess what? They're going to advertise for that game. What are some things that they might say? Bro, this game is so good and it's only a demo. Now they're backing it. It's so good and this is not even its final form, bro. Do you guys see that? This is real life. That's that gravity. It's him. It's him. This is the things that we're talking about. Now everything is advertising for them. They have the keys. They have the ball in their court. The keys to the starship. This is not foo-foo. This is everything we talk about. This is the fundamentals. This is it. This is the bee's knees. Now everything's advertising for them. They have the gamers on their hand. The gamers are going to go talk about it. They're going to go play it. People are going to see them on their friends list. What's that game they keep playing? You don't think they're going to get curious? It's that crowd that I'm telling you about on the street. You want to know what's in the middle of it. You want in on it. We're not even getting into the cultural reciprocity. We're not even getting into the community aspect. There's other things here that keep advertising, by the way. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So if you're interested, lock in. We're not going to talk about it today, but we're not even talking about the community aspect of it, which is the future of the industry. We're not even talking about that yet. That'll be the next workshop, by the way. Practical fundamentals audit. Where fundamentals separate you, clarity and delivery. Does the player know what matters now, what changed, and why it matters? I need water. Or soda. Onboarding. Are you teaching concepts before demanding performance? I need you guys, all devs. Remember, if I pick 10 random games on Steam right now, 10 out of 10 will not onboard. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. So that means everybody here right now saying that wouldn't happen to me? No, it would, statistically. I need you guys to ask yourselves this. The cheat code that I give my clients. You want to know how my clients win? I give them a simple concept. Why? If you're going to leave here today, and I know a lot of people struggle here, 10 out of 10, I'm going to give you guys a simple cheat code to take home. Everyone look under their seats right now. This is what you're going to take home with you. It's not a brand new car, I'm sorry. It's why. While you are teaching, while you are telling them what to do, I need you to constantly ask why. And I promise you, you will see and feel a severe increase in how your performance is with your onboarding. It's called give the why. Ask yourself why and give them the why. Why are you telling them that? Why are you teaching them that? What do they need to understand and why? And I promise you that you will start to be the 1 out of 10. Why? Not click this button. Not click this card. Not put your character here and hit this button. Why? Do not tell me to build an SUV at a barracks. Tell me why. What do I need to understand? Should I skip a card here? Tell me why. Why should I skip here? There's a world there. Why should I draft this card? Tell me why. Sound like Justin Timberlake. Is that Backstreet Boys? Tell me why. Tell me why. And I promise you, just because of that simple thing I just told you, that key, you will be better at onboarding than everybody around you. Do you guys see how simple it is? I'm not trying to sell you a marketing gimmick. I'm not trying to sell you a hook. I'm trying to give you the keys to create results because it's not hard. Everyone says onboarding is hard. Your dev circles are going to tell you that onboarding is hard. It's not. They're just not doing it. They don't understand. What they're saying is, I'm not good at this. I don't understand this. This is my favorite thing in the industry because this is 100% of every time some dev says something is hard. One of my favorite things a couple years ago was with Blatro. And there was a thing going around for a while that you guys all fell into, the cursed design problem. Have you guys ever heard this? Anytime developers say something like that, I want you to hear, I don't know how to do it powerfully. Onboarding is hard. I don't know how to do it powerfully. Man, menus are so hard. I don't know how to do it powerfully. Man, making replayability is so hard, man. I don't know how to do it powerfully. Just get curious. Look for answers because there is answers. I don't know how to do it powerfully is perfectly okay to say. I don't know how. Every time you guys start to hear that, things will open because you will get curious. Okay, so this person doesn't know how to do that powerfully. What is the answer then? How do I learn how to do that powerfully? Got it? Why? Friction. What work is the player doing that creates no value? Feedback. Can the player feel and understand the results of their actions? Oof. Loop and pacing. Does the repeated state stay satisfying? Repeated state stay satisfying. Right? Temporal dilution. The game gets dull. The grind. If they're saying the word grind, we're failing somewhere. That's one of the things that I love to say as a rule of thumb. If the player is noticing grind, we're failing somewhere. It's a sign. Right? Take that as just a rule of thumb. It's not law. It's rule of thumb. Right? Every game is grind. Every single one, right? It's doing something and the number's going up. It's going room to room in combat. Every game is grind. Everything. But they don't see it as grind. They don't perceive it as grind. So again, if they're using the word grind, that is your heat map. We're failing somewhere. We're failing to cover it up. Use that as your rule of thumb. Structural integrity. Do menus, saves, camera, control, and edge cases create trust? I mean, we've seen so many games in our references here, even today, that just suffer from this, right? Structural integrity. Does workshop can stand on its own? Competitive games can be a separate session? Yes, competitive games is another thing that we're going to talk about in the next one. Closing argument. Craft is becoming scarce more than ever. We get more products. We get more ideas. We get more novelty. But we are not getting the craft. Your publishers will not save you. The best publishers right now are suffering from this as well. The best publishers. I'm talking Devolver Digital. I'm talking Hooded Horse. I'm talking Goblins Publishing. I'm talking all of them. They're all suffering from this. All of them. When everyone is chasing novelty, the developer who can reliably deliver clarity, pacing, frictionless interactions, meaningful feedback, and a strong loop becomes unusually valuable. Learn the fundamentals, become trusted, and separate yourself immediately. Do you guys feel that? I have some references for you. Boop, 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 boop. Guys, this stuff is not foo-foo. I promise you, if you take this into consideration, you're going to see it everywhere. You won't be able to unsee it anymore because you have that lens. Everything is going to, all the feedback's going to start showing up the same. All the complaints are going to show up the same. Our culture and our systemic problems are going to make sense. Feedback culture, we're listening now. Right? Don't worry, we'll fix it. Adding fundamental things that should have been there from the ground. Right? All of these things. It'll all make sense. It'll all be there. It makes it that simple. There's answers, and we've proven that they've worked. So, as a closing, I'm going to open it up for any questions, and I'm also going to point out that we have a new tool for you guys. We're very proud of it. No shame, very proud of it. We have a new tool for you. If you guys want to know more, and this is not just a business hook, yes, you can get coaching. You can start learning fundamentals. You can get somebody in the trenches that care about your launch, because my business is like those lawyers. You know those lawyers that don't get paid until you win? People keep coming to me because they keep seeing other people be successful. Do you guys think for the last 5 years, I'd be able to keep showing up if I failed everybody? It's like the lawyer that only gets paid if they win. People want to be like these games because it's working. We've been doing this for like 5 years now. It's working. There's answers. So, I'm going to show you guys some really cool tricks for free that you can use here that we are constantly updating for free. For free. This is here so you don't have excuses anymore and that you better your craft. Care about your craft, not your passion. Your passion is already good. Care about your craft. Get plugged in. These other games, it's already working. We have, I think we have about 10 new clients that we're about to put up here. You guys might recognize some of these names. Guys, this stuff is so important. But what I'm here to talk about, we're going to talk about some of this easy stuff. You guys can navigate this stuff yourself. Get plugged in, blah, 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 blah. All right? Reviews. Learn what it takes to make these good games. Start learning what it takes to make these good games. Get plugged into real stuff. If you're going to PC Gamer, oh, this is the new killer of this game and this and flavor and talking about preference, right? I like this stuff, we like this stuff, culture, blah, 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 right? You're not even talking design. You're not even in the ballpark, and this is why we're so bad at it. This is why we never talk about craftsmanship, but we talk about selling and advertising. We're good at that already. Start talking about design. Start talking about design. So we have this stuff here for you. A lot of these things, what you guys are going to start to notice is that even before release, these numbers are going to say something about how that game kind of turns out. More often than not. This game just launched yesterday, by the way. It's already at 80% and trending downward because of all of its lack of quality. Because it's a good idea. The same thing we've been talking about over and over. Guys, more than ever, your craftsmanship is what's going to make you stand out. More than ever. So, if you want to get ahead in the industry, literally just learn fundamentals. Literally, just how to make your game feel good and deliver. That's it. Literally. It's crazy. Now, more importantly, the developers specifically, not as much gamers, developers specifically, your cheat codes are going to be right here. These are going to be your seeds that are releasing. These are your seeds. These are going to give you a new lens, a new distinction to be able to see. Notice how that you guys can all refer to that like gravity, genre gravity now. We all felt it. It existed. But now we can see it as clear as day, right? When we start to feel it, oh, you know what? Look, they just referenced Isaac. Oh, yeah, that's because that has the gravity there, right? That, yeah, look, it's advertising because that game is good, right? Or, hey, if it's not good and they're asking about a different game, right? They had the novelty, they brought people, but now we need a well-crafted one. You guys are going to start to see this stuff. Anyway, you guys need to plug in and lock in here. Here you're going to learn why old design doesn't work today. While those people that were making successful games 20 years ago are having a hard time now. That design goes bad and that the market moves. Go learn. Fundamentals. You guys just got a crash course on this, but go learn about this stuff, right? Go get that lens. Go understand it. The Big Bang, how it all began. This is where you're going to learn about genres and how you guys creating in genres is literally the opposite of how it actually started and was used. It's fascinating. Literally how the video game industry started and consumers started creating words. And then you guys took these words and used it as your paintbrush. It's now opposite. But the people that break free of that mold are the ones that we now copy. Did you guys notice that everybody is making those games where you clean up stuff now? Anyone? You guys notice that? One person comes up with a new idea, that novelty hook, right? And then everyone will follow suit. Everyone that follows suit, if your craftsmanship is good, is now advertising for the good one. You guys see that? Because we're starved for that. We're starved. Everyone will always follow suit. So your fundamentals will carry you through. What we talked about today, why feedback isn't understanding. Now you guys understand that, right? Can you guys read this title and all of a sudden it makes perfectly clear sense? Because it's today's workshop. Why? Because you're getting symptoms, right? And you're reacting to symptoms. You're not understanding. You're not learning the underlying issues, right? Go learn about this stuff. It's all here. Guys, we have about 15 more that are going to go up this year. Like cheat codes. Literally cheat codes. I can't wait. When I have new distinctions, when I have new breakthroughs, this has been my thing this year, is like practicing writing. So go check this stuff out. I'm working really, really hard on this stuff. We also have a place you could sign up for showcases. Eventually this will be paid, by the way, but right now it's not. So go check it out. We are giving you guys all of this, and shout outs to my team. This stuff would not be here without my team. This is the opposite of solo dev, and it will never be. I would not be doing this without my team helping me. So make sure you go drop them some love as well, because then this is the team that creates these results so that it can make the difference for you guys to make the difference, to make the difference, to make the difference. We call that expanded results. So again, this stuff matters. I'm so passionate about it. It's just giving you guys answers and showing you that there's answers. All right? So please, 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 there is answers. Do not wait till your game releases after you invested years and then say we're listening. Do not wait to listen. I'm warning you now. We see it around us. Go listen to every other dev that fell in that hole already. You do not need to go through that too. You don't need to go through that and then say we're listening, right? You don't need to wait for symptoms. They all have the same problems. Please do not wait for it. Do not wait for that. All right? Don't be another statistic, please. All right, is there any questions? Is there any support that I can give you guys? W Workshop, by the way. That was my first one, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll stay after class for a little bit for any questions. Well done as always. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Cammy. Thank you, Dom. Thank you, Om. For devs that want to take actionable steps, we understand that fundamentals are important, so how is the correct way to learn fundamentals and avoid learning the wrong lessons and adding more content? Yes, so one of the best free ways that you could start to learn these things is you want to plug into the crowds that are having those conversations. Now, I don't know any personally, and I hate it, because now it sounds like a marketing thing. I don't, or I would refer you to them. Find people that are having design conversations. Now, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not your consumers. It's not Skullcrusher69 on the Steam forums. There's a reason why LeBron James is not getting coached by people in the crowd. You guys get that? Respect your craft. So, the sooner you start respecting your craft, you're going to level up your circles. You're going to level up the conversations that you're dancing in. Notice that these are all conversations. These all came from conversation. These are not what you should do. These are conversations. You need to level those up. You are the company you keep, as they say, right? And most of your dev circles probably revolve around like, oh, advertise. Oh, tutorials are just hard. Oh, this. But notice that if you do hear the right answers, if you do dance in the right conversation, it actually is easy, right? There's answers. There's very clear answers. So go find those circles. I can tell you to jump into the Discord. 1. 2. We are going to have a Game Doctor Circle private Discord soon. I'm working on it right now. I don't want to just launch it and half-ass it. I want it to be something that is going to be the utmost important, best, most elite developers of the industry. These guys are going to pioneer. And just like I say with publishers, it's their responsibility to make sure the games under them are good. They're the last line of defense, right? Or it should be. It's the same here, right? So, we will have that soon. 3. You can plug in here daily. So, what I call this is an open kitchen concept. One second. We call this an open kitchen concept. What that means is, I'm not hiding the answers from you guys. I'm not hiding the learning. I'm not hiding the distinctions. I show up to class every day. That's why I know what I'm doing. I'm not smarter than you. I just do the reps. I show up to class every day to learn this stuff. I care. I care about this stuff. I'm so obsessed with perpetual learning. I show up to class every day and keep questioning. That's why I'm good at it. So, we do this live every day. It's an open kitchen. You guys know, you ever go into a restaurant and you can see them cooking the food? You can see the heart and the passion that goes into it? It's the same thing here. You guys can show up every day and ask these questions. We have the space for you. After that, you guys can sign up for a free discovery call if you want more. If you're like, yo, I'm trying to make a banger. I'm trying to level up. Or I'm working on this game and I already know I'm going to invest a year plus into it. Get in contact. You will not be able to catch all your own blind spots no matter what. No matter what space you're in. No matter what, you're going to need that person that's trained that you trust to catch these things. Now, that does not mean, oh, how do you feel when you play it? Did you like it? What did you think? That's your consumers, right? They can already do that. You need a professional that can talk about these underlying issues and teach you how to get ahead of the market. So if you ever decide to, you can also get a free discovery call. You can come chat with me. We get to talk about your passion. We get to talk about what you're working on. We get to talk about where it's going to land. Are you behind the industry? Are you ahead of the industry? These are the things that you're going to have to worry about. And this is all conversation. All just conversation. You can start to get plugged in there. So those are your options. If you have better options, if you find other options, do it. Get answers. If you have somebody that can check for this stuff consistently, like they're showing up to class, you can see that they're doing the work. You can see that they're creating results. Do it. Just get answers. That's all I care about. Right? Find your coach. Find your coach. Find your editor. Find your person. Find them. Get your coach. I have a coach. I have a coach. This is not just for you guys. I have a coach. I have my own blind spots. So I'm so passionate for you guys to get out of the systemic problems that keep repeating. Find somebody that you trust. It's not about me coming to me for answers. Find someone that you love, right? That you trust, and get it. Get those answers. That's all we care about. All right? Perfect onboarding, so we don't talk like that here. And I'm gonna give me a sec to mentor. I'll blame China for review bombing. Yeah, just blame good old goblins. Much love to Esty and the family. This was very easy listening while cleaning the windows and got great insight for my next project. Yo, Yugi, thank you so much for those kind words, guys. Those mean so much to me. Remember, I'm the lone guy in a lone ship that everyone's calling crazy, or no, he can't have the answers. I just hope you guys keep showing up and seeing by the results. You don't have to listen to me. Look at the results. Look at how things make sense, right? Look how it creates results that create results. Look how it creates answers. That's all I care about. You don't have to like me. Just get answers. All right? And if you don't get answers here, find somewhere because we don't have them clearly. Cool? Thank you, Nader. Nader has the thesaurus of information, who just posted some examples. So one of the things that I want to talk about here, notice that Dementor, and I'm not doing this on purpose to poke at you. I need you to understand. I have a lens here of understanding for a second. The reason I'm correcting you is because we want to change the lens. I've noticed that most developers that come in here start by asking questions that are already veering them to wrong answers. It's just on how they ask, what they're looking for. So when we look, we're looking for dancing in the right conversation, and we're looking for improvement. We're looking for learning. We're looking for delivery. We're not looking for perfect. We're not looking for the YouTube headline of these 3 things will make your next successful game. We're not looking for cheat codes. We're looking for understanding. So what we want to do is we want great examples of just how do we start learning understanding? How do we start seeing it? What are some examples of like that are powerful, right? There is no perfect. The market's going to keep moving. The market's going to keep evolving, right? Do you guys understand that? There is no perfect. There's no cheat code. I don't care if a game has 98% positive reviews on Steam. We use that as our cheat code. Oh, we'll just copy them. And then it doesn't work for us. We're not looking for skipping steps. We're looking for understanding and leveling up more tools in our arsenal. So, can you give some examples of like tools that we can use for better onboarding? Absolutely. Right? First things first is you want to ask why. Right? We don't need a game to tell us. What you want to do is start delivering why. I notice another thing is when you give somebody a cheat code or an answer, they say, okay, well, who did it? Right? They want some Steam number to justify it. So one of the things we did with Tiny Rogues is we talked about how people always say, oh, well, what game is doing it? And I said, you. A lot of my developers, right? Well, who's doing it? You. You're doing it better. That you're doing that. So then when you deliver that, everyone goes, oh my God, this is so much better. And then you become the standard, right? So we're not looking for examples necessarily. Now, we could find them. That's not my point here. My point is you don't need somebody to tell you it's okay. That's why I always say that we move like cattle. And it takes one person to do it better. Did you ever notice that one person that makes that better quality of life and then other games follow suit? There was a famous example. You could find this on YouTube. Look up YouTube coaching the Terra Nil dev for the new combo lands that's about to come out. We did this impromptu live. And one of the things that I told Axolotl with Star Vaders and Dice Vaders is if you do better, if you just show them better, everyone will follow suit. That's how it works. So what happened was, I said, hey, we are not treating our demos correctly. We're not advertising correctly. What we need to be doing is advertising our demos and showing how it doesn't even compare to the full version. We need to make it very easy and accessible. Anyway, so if you guys go pull up Star Vaders, Dice Vaders, all of this stuff, you guys are going to see how it talks about the full game. You guys are going to see better. We were coaching the Terra Nil dev live. I never met them before, live. And one of the things they said is I complimented them and I said, hey, you do a really good job here advertising your demo versus the full version. And he said, yes, I took it from Star Vaders and Dice Vaders. He said, yeah, I got that idea from Dice Vaders. So, who's doing it, guys? You. You're doing better. When you do it better, everyone will follow suit. You're not looking for someone to tell you okay. It's you. You can already see the market around you. Nobody has the fundamental skill sets. So you're them. If you're dancing in that, you're them. They're waiting for you. Cool. They're waiting for you. They're waiting for you to do it. Another thing that you can do is come in here. Guys, we have all the tools in here, I'm telling y'all. Come in here. Again, still being worked on. We're giving you guys stuff here. Look. Game Analyzer. Come in here. Come in here. We're giving you the cheat codes. This one I personally worked on myself. Go feel it. Go feel it. I personally coached on this one. Go feel it. So, you guys want answers? Go find it. We're trying to give answers, okay? But you're not looking for cheat codes. You're looking for understanding. Why did it work here? What are they doing? Why? Remember, give the why. We're looking for answers, like understanding why things are working, the source code, okay? So, great question. I appreciate, says Zornak, that you treat game design as the art form that it is. I don't think you are the lone person doing it, but you are one of the few trying to nail down concrete wording for things that are otherwise talked about in abstract. Appreciate it. Again, not about being the only one. It's about giving answers in a place in an industry that keeps saying that there is none. That's all I can do. I have cheat codes that work. I'm showing that they work. And I'm also seeing people drowning. What am I going to do? What do you want me to do? I'm going to help. I'm going to help. I also happen to be the consumer that keeps getting let down every day. So what can I do? I can do something about it. I can help. And we do it live. I learn live. There's no magic. There's not some guy I just woke up and I decided these are the answers. I show up to class every day. All right? That's it. So, if this stuff is helpful for you guys, call to action, I need your support. I need your support. I'm not asking you to sub. I'm not asking you to throw me money. Spread the word. Help other people around you. This is about expanded results. This is not about hogging information. This is about supporting each other. This is not about solo dev bullshit. I did it all. Help people. Tell them that there's better answers. Tell them that there's information. Let them know that releases don't need to go this way. Let them know that we don't need to react for symptoms and wait for feedback to know what's wrong with our games. Spread this stuff. We have a website now. We have a website now where you can start getting free information and start leveling up for free. We have a Discord. We have here. I would gladly answer any of your questions. We're here all week. Spread the word. There is help. There's answers. Just call to action. Go tweet about it. Tweet about what you've learned here. Right? Go leave it in a review. Go do whatever you got to do, guys. Just tell people. Let people know, please. All right? Because guess what? Think about it. If I do it, who am I? I can't do it. Right? This is not a solo dev thing, just like the same as all of your releases. You're going to ask people for help and understanding. I can't go around and tell people my own work is good, just like you can't go around and tell people your own work is good. That's why there is no self-made man. We need each other. Right? So I need you guys. I cannot go around and say, hey, trust me, this is good. It's like, oh, listen to this salesman. Right? That's the lens. That's fundamentals. I need your guys' help. All right? Makes sense? Thanks? Of course, of course, of course. Of course. But yeah, go play good games. Play good games that are giving you why. You'll be able to start noticing what good onboarding is as well. So guys, thank you for listening. Thanks for giving me the space. Please go help spread the word. It's not just to stay here. Help people. Help people. Help people. Again, we're going to do a few more. I'm going to commit to doing a few more. I already have the next one ready. Competition versus insulated competition. Which is another answer to the market, and we throw away millions of dollars every year. Do you guys remember the Highborn incident recently? Right? You guys are going to get all those answers soon. All of those answers.